because then maybe you'll be able to see me really well. All right. And as always, like last week, Shannon, don't hesitate to unmute or anything if like I'm breaking up or you guys can't hear me or something. All right, guys, let me just play one more minute. All right, guys. So while I am making a few final last minute adjustments, why don't you guys go ahead and start to find a comfortable place on your mat if you haven't done that already. So I always suggest starting lying down on your backs, but it doesn't have to be there. It could be on your side. It could really be anything that feels comfortable for you. So that might be lying sideways with your kind of head resting on your arm. It could be with the knees bent, whatever feels good for you. Find that comfortable position now. Start to take a couple really deep breaths. Closing the eyes if they're not already. Starting to settle in. Starting to let go of whatever it was you were doing before you got here. I know for me personally, I was kind of running around crazy, trying to get stuff done. So I'm going to take a deep breath and let all of that go. And I want you guys to do the same thing. So taking a few moments now, just breathing, really connecting with that breath. So following the breath, each time you inhale, draw that breath in through the lungs, filling up the stomach, the chest, feeling that expansion. As you exhale, letting it go. You start to feel that calmness coming over the body. Using this time here on your mat to set an intention for your practice. So think about what it is that you need, whether it's peace, patience, balance, kindness. Go ahead and set that intention for yourself. Taking about 3 more breaths. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to find a full body stretch. So coming onto the back if you weren't there already, starting to reach the arms overhead, starting to kind of roll out the wrists, roll out the ankles. Take a big deep stretch in. Then as you exhale, start to draw the knees in towards you, wrapping your arms around your shins. Give yourself a little hug as you draw the knees in. You can rock side to side if that feels good. You can also make circles with the knees, feeling that massage with the back of the body on the mat. And then as you bring your hands behind your thighs, tucking your chin into your chest, we're going to start to rock forwards and backwards, making our way up to a seated position, coming all the way up, kind of rock it out side to side a little bit as you settle in here on those sits bones. Sit up nice and tall, feeling that length through the back of the body. Your hands can come to your knees. Take a deep breath in as you relax the shoulders, allowing the chin to release forward so that you're looking at the mat in front of you, lengthening through the back of the spine, up through the neck. And then just gently start to allow the head to roll all the way around. So beginning to take full circles with the neck. Moving at a pace that feels good for you. That can be really, really slow to the point where you might even pause in a certain spot. Or it might be a little faster. I don't know. See what feels good for you. Going back in the opposite direction. Allowing some of that tension and tightness that's in the neck to dissolve as you move it. And then as you come back through center, start to bring your head up to a neutral position. Take a breath in and lift the shoulders up towards your ears. As you exhale, start to roll the shoulders down the back. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw the shoulders up towards the ears. Create a little tension, a little tightness as you hold on to that. As you exhale, let the shoulders release down the back. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, draw the shoulders up. Hold on. Exhale. Make that breath audible as you let it go. Good. On the next breath, we're going to reach the arms up overhead. Relax your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, start to walk the hands away from you, folding forward as much as it feels comfortable. So that's going to be different for everyone. I always like to mention that it doesn't matter how far forward you're folding. What matters is that you're feeling that opening in the back of the body. So as you breathe in, see if you can create some length, some space in the back of the body. As you exhale, see if you can fold a little bit deeper each time. Letting the head become heavy, so your head is hanging between your shoulders a little bit. Maybe you use that breath to sort of walk the hands just a little bit further away from the body. The next breath, we're going to start to walk the hands over to the right side. So keeping the hands on the mat, start to draw almost like you're bringing your head towards that right knee. You're going to really reach the left arm away from the body so that you're stretching through the whole left side of the body. And then slowly walking the hands back through center. And then take it over to the other side, walking the hands towards the left. Stretch the right arm away from the body so you're creating that length all up and down the right side of the body as you press the right hip down towards the mat. And then again, slowly coming back through center. Take one last breath. Exhale, release. On the next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands back towards the body, making your way back up to a seated position. We're going to bring the hands behind the head. So kind of interlacing your hands at the back of the head, taking a deep breath in as you lift the chest, lift the gaze. As you exhale, you're going to kind of fold the head forward, drawing the elbows towards each other, drawing the head down. And we're going to flow here a couple times. On the next inhale, start to lift it up. Take the gaze towards the ceiling, opening up through the heart. As you exhale, fold forward, drawing the elbows together. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, opening up through the front of the body, breathing nice and deep. And then exhaling, drawing the elbows together, folding the head forward. And then slowly lifting back up. Bring your legs into a wide V shape. So extending both legs long, flexing through the toes. Kind of rock side to side a little bit to find that comfortable seat on the legs. Your feet are really flexed. And then we're going to interlace our hands. Start to make circles with the upper body. So almost like you're stirring a giant pot or something like that. You're going to circle the upper body, feeling that stretch in the backs of the legs. And then taking it back in the other direction. And then on the next inhale, lift it back up, reach the arms overhead. Start to press the legs back together. So you kind of use the hands to draw the feet towards each other. We're going to take the right foot, bring it to the outside of the left knee. So you're crossing the right leg over the left. If it feels comfortable, you can bend that left knee. If it feels better, just keep the left leg straight. The right hand is going to come to the side of the body. As you inhale, the left fingertips lift up. As you exhale, we're twisting. So hooking the left elbow onto the right knee. Right hand is behind you. Each time you inhale, see if you can sit up a little taller. Each time you exhale, see if you can twist a little further. Creating that twist, starting from the base of the spine all the way up. And then slowly coming back through center. Extend both legs long. You can kind of shake the legs out a little bit. And we'll take it over to the other side. So the left foot is coming to the outside of the right knee. The left hand comes to the side of the body. You can bend that right knee if you did so on the other side. And then as you inhale, the right fingertips lift up. As you exhale, twist it over to the left, hooking that right elbow on the left knee. Take a breath in as you sit up a little taller. As you exhale, twist a little further. Using that breath to bring you a little deeper into this twist. Almost like the spine is a towel and you're trying to wring it out as you twist. then on the next inhale, slowly come back through center. Again, extend both legs long. You can kind of shake the legs out a little bit. And then we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So go ahead and come onto your hands and knees. Wrists are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips. The spine starts off really nice and straight. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a breath in, release the stomach down, take the gaze up. As you exhale, round the back, press the ground away from you. We're going to go ahead and move here through our cat and cow pose. So continuing to move with the breath as you inhale, release the stomach down, take the gaze up. As you exhale, round the back, press the ground away from you. And go ahead and continue to move like that at a pace that feels comfortable for you. That might mean adding something on if it feels good to kind of rock the hips side to side, shake the head yes or no, maybe even a little child's pose action, just kind of moving around a lot. Finding comfortable movement and connection with the breath. The next time you complete the round you're on, start to make your way back through a neutral spine. We're going to extend the right leg behind you. So point the right toes towards the back of the room or the wall or whatever's behind you. For me, it's a couch. As you inhale, start to draw the knee towards the nose, round the back like that cat back. As you exhale, send that leg back again. And we're going to go ahead and do that about 3 more times with the breath. Inhale, draw the knee forward, give that knee a kiss. Exhale, extend it back. And keep going like that with your breath. Inhale, draw it forward. Exhale, send it back. One more time, drawing that knee to the nose. And then as you extend the leg, go ahead and pause here. So hold that leg behind the body. We're going to slide the left foot off the mat. The right foot is going to come down. Your left fingertips are going to reach to the top of the mat. So we're finding a modified side plank. You're stretching through the whole right side of the body, pressing the hips up, reaching the right fingertips towards the top of the room, lengthening through the right side of the body. See if you can take that gaze up towards the ceiling under the right arm. Really extending through that right side. If you want an added challenge, you can lift the right leg up off the mat. So now you're balancing on the left hand and the left knee. If it feels better just to get a really nice big stretch, keep the right leg down and continue to press the hips up. And then let's all go ahead and close that off. So coming back into your tabletop position, extend the left leg long, point the toes towards the back of the room, and we'll start to move through that flow on the other side. As you inhale, draw the left knee towards the nose. As you exhale, send it back. Go ahead and move there with your breath. Inhale, draw the knee to the nose. Exhale, send it back. One more time, draw that knee towards the nose. As you exhale, extend the leg long, and we'll find that side plank. So the right foot kind of slides behind you for balance. Left foot comes down. Left fingertips reach to the front of the mat. So now we're stretching that whole left side of the body. Feel the ribs kind of becoming a little further apart, expanding. Feel that stretch under the arm as you look up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in here. Get a little taller on the left side. If you want to take that balance, the left foot can lift up off the mat. Otherwise, just keep working on pressing the hips up. And then we'll all go ahead and start to close that off. So the left knee comes down, the left hand comes down. Let's find our first downward facing dog by tucking our toes, straightening the legs, send the hips up and back. As you start to settle in here, move as much as you like. I always like to start with my feet and then kind of work my way up. So kind of lifting one foot at a time, pressing it back down, bending and straightening the knees, rocking the hips a little bit. All these little movements help us sort of settle into this shape. Shake your head, yes or no. On the next inhale, we're all going to roll forward into a plank position. So as you inhale, start to draw the shoulders over the wrists, finding a plank position as you tuck your tailbone under, Draw the belly button up towards your spine, really strong here. As you exhale, start to send it back, downward facing dog. And we'll do that 2 more times with our breath, like a wave. Start to roll the body forward into a plank as you inhale. As you exhale, start to send it back. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, draw the body forward. Hold it. Exhale as you send it back. Good. Taking your gaze towards your hands, we'll start to walk the feet towards the hands, coming to a forward fold at the top of your mat. Your feet can be about hips width distance apart. It's probably a little more comfortable than having the feet right together. And then we're going to take hold of opposite elbows. So right hand comes to left elbow, left hand comes to right elbow. Bending the knees as much as it feels comfortable. So I like to bend my knees a lot. Think about bringing the stomach to the thighs almost. Let the head become heavy as your head hangs between your shoulders. And then you can rock side to side here if that feels good. Maybe shaking the head a little bit, kind of like a rag doll, just letting gravity draw the upper body down. On the next inhale, we're going to start to lift up. See if you can keep that connection with the hands on the elbows. If that's really not comfortable, let it go. But give it a try. So slowly starting to roll up, reaching the arms overhead, and I'm coming off the screen here, but so you're keeping that connection with the arms over the head. I'm bending down, but you guys don't have to. And then we're going to take that over to the right side. So start to lean the arms to the right. See if you can look under the left arm. Look up towards the ceiling, stretching through that whole left side of the body. On the next inhale, take it back up through center. As you exhale, take it over to the other side. So leaning to the left, pressing the hips to the right, looking under that right arm. Again, take a breath in, lift up through center. This time, reach the arms up overhead. So you're reaching your arms towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in, maybe a little back bend if that feels good. Then we're going to bring our hands to heart center. Exhale, dive it all the way down. So back to that forward fold. On an inhale, we're going to take a big swan dive and lift it back up. So big wide arms as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead again. Bring the hands together as you exhale, dive it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So this little forward flow. Inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, dive it down. 1 more time, as big as you can. Inhale, reach it up, little back bend if that feels comfortable. As you exhale, fold forward. This time, bringing your hands to the mat and starting to walk the feet back to your downward facing dog. So go ahead and make your way back into that downward facing dog. Once you arrive, take a breath in and lift the right leg up. So start to point the right toes towards the back of the room or maybe up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to take your gaze towards your hands. Draw the right knee almost like you're bringing it back towards your nose. And then step that right foot in between your hands. Left knee is going to come down, untuck those back toes. As you exhale, straighten the right leg and start to fold over that right leg. So pressing the hips back, flexing through that right foot. We're going to take about 2 breaths here. And then on the next inhale, start to rebend the knees, pressing the hips forward, taking the gaze up. So your hands can either stay on the floor. If this is a lot, I know I said this before on here, but you can grab books, pillows, blocks, whatever you have at home to kind of bring the ground a little closer to you. And we're going to take that flow forwards and backwards a couple more times. So go ahead and exhale, straighten out the right leg as you fold. Inhale, coming forward, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, straighten that leg. 1 more time as you inhale, come forward, this time making your way into Anjaneyasana or the crescent moon. So hands can come to the right knee or hands can reach all the way up towards the ceiling, whichever feels better for you. Either way, you're opening up through the heart, maybe releasing the head back if that feels comfortable, and pressing that left thigh down towards the mat. Good. And slowly starting to bring your hands back to frame out the right foot. We're gonna tuck the left toes, straighten that left leg so that you're in a kind of runner's lunge. And then the left foot is gonna step up halfway. So the left foot's coming to the center of your mat, finding a pyramid pose. Take a breath for space, lengthening through the back of the body. As you exhale, fold over that right knee. This is another great place to use those blocks or books or whatever it is you have at home. Again, if the ground feels far away, bring your hand to something. So both toes are facing forward. Both hips are in a line. So see if you can draw that left hip forward a little bit further. A little bend in the right knee is fine if that feels comfortable. And then start to think nose to knee here. We're gonna start to turn this into a little bit of a balance, a warrior three. So your weight is gonna come into the right foot. You're gonna slowly lift up that left foot. That could just be a couple inches if that feels good for you. Or maybe you start to bring that left foot parallel to the ground. You can keep your hands on the mat, so this would be a supported warrior three. Or if you wanna challenge yourself further, maybe one hand or both hands come to heart center. So see where you're at. See if you're both hands down, one hand down, no hands down. Give it a try for 2 more breaths. And then we're all gonna find a forward fold. So go ahead and bring that left foot to meet the right. Take a little halfway lift as you inhale. As you exhale, fold a little deeper. On the next inhale, we're gonna lift it all the way up. So coming to standing, reaching the arms up overhead again, a little back bend if that feels good. And then on the exhale, we're gonna dive it right back down to that forward fold. Go ahead and step your way back to your downward facing dog. And then the left foot is gonna lift. Point the toes towards the back of the room. And then start to draw that left knee towards your nose. Step the left foot in between your hands. Right knee comes down, untuck the back toes. As you exhale, straighten that left leg. Start to fold over the left leg, flexing through the toes, almost like you're pointing the left toes towards the body. We're gonna take 2 breaths here before starting that little flow. And then on the next inhale, go ahead and bend the knees. Take a breath in as you press the hips down, lift the heart, lift the gaze. And start to move with your breath here. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, come forward. If it feels better to pause in either of these positions and take a couple breaths there, go ahead and do that. Whatever feels good for you, whatever helps you get into the back of the leg and that hip, that's what you want to be doing. The next time we come forward, we're gonna find that Anjaneyasana again. So go ahead and press the hips down. Start to lift the upper body up. Your hands can come to your front knee, or they can reach all the way up towards the ceiling, relaxing the shoulders. So thinking about opening up through the front of the body, also lengthening the back of the body. So you're bending back. And then slowly starting to bring the hands back to frame out that left foot. We're gonna straighten the right leg, tuck those right toes, and then the right foot steps up to the center of your mat, halfway up for a pyramid pose. Take a breath in as you lengthen through the back of the body for space. As you exhale, fold over that left leg. So same thing as we did on the other side. Bend the left knee a little bit if that feels good. Maybe rock the hip side to side. See what feels good for you. Play around when you're in these poses, especially while you're at home. See what feels good, see what doesn't feel good. And then focus on those things that your body needs that do feel good. We're gonna start to make our way into that balance. So the weight is gonna come into the left foot as the right foot starts to lift, maybe a couple inches, or maybe you bring that right foot parallel to the mat, flex through the toes. And then see if you can play around with the balance. Maybe one hand at a time lifts up. Maybe both hands stay down. See what feels like the right amount of a challenge for you. You want to challenge yourself, but you also don't want to hurt yourself or take it too far. So see what feels Feels like the right amount of challenge. And then go ahead and find that forward fold. So both feet come to the mat. Take that halfway lift for space. Exhale as you fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath in, a little back bend. Again, we'll exhale and dive it back down, forward fold. Go ahead and make your way back to your downward facing dog. So walking the feet to the back of the mat. We're gonna roll it back out into that plank position. So drawing the shoulders over the wrists. And then this time, bring your knees down. We're gonna lower ourselves all the way onto our stomachs. So go ahead and find your way all the way down onto your stomach. You're gonna take your left arm and kind of bring your left forearm so that it's parallel to the top of the mat. You can rest your forehead on the back of the left arm, kind of like you're looking down at your mat. You're gonna bend the right knee, point the toes towards you, and then you're gonna reach your right hand back for that right foot. So you're drawing the right heel towards the body. And then if this feels like enough of a stretch and you wanna just work on this, you can stay there. If you have a little more space, maybe you start to kick the right foot away from the body. Maybe the upper body starts to lift as a result. So you can kind of press the left arm into the mat to lift the chest, lift the upper body. The more you kick that right foot away from you, the deeper of a back bend you're creating for yourself. And then slowly starting to release the head back down to the mat, release the foot back down to the mat, and we'll take it to the other side so that right forearm comes to the top of your mat. The left hand is gonna start to reach back for the left foot. Same thing, if you're feeling a really nice stretch in your calf, or I'm sorry, your hamstring, and you just wanna stay like this, go ahead and stay like this. If you wanna take that back bend, start to inhale as you press the left foot away from the body, lift the upper body up. Maybe looking back towards that foot a little, or maybe looking forward. Using your breath wherever you are in this. That breath will always help bring you a little bit further. And then again, slowly starting to lower yourself all the way back down onto the mat. Release the foot. This time, bring the hands to the sides of the body so you can bring one cheek to the mat or your forehead, whichever feels comfortable. Forehead might feel claustrophobic. And then we're gonna bend both feet. You're gonna bring both hands towards your feet. As you inhale, everything starts to lift up. So you're pressing the feet away from the body, lifting the heart. So thinking almost like you're creating like a teardrop shape with the body here. Trying to bend through that back. And then slowly letting it all go. Let the feet come down to the mat. Actually, go ahead and re-bend the feet, and you can kind of let the feet rock from side to side. That might feel good, almost like your legs are little windshield wipers. And then we're gonna make our way into a child's pose. So the feet can come down to the mat, your hands come under your shoulders, press the hips up and back. As you bring the hips to the heels, toes together, knees apart, settle into your child's pose. Your hands can continue to reach towards the top of the mat, or maybe you bring your hands to the sides of your body. You stack your hands on top of each other, resting your forehead on them, whatever feels good for you. So find that child's pose that feels really good for you. Let your eyes close. And just start to breathe into that. We're gonna hold this for about 5 breaths. So see what you can let go of. See if you can take even breaths here. So maybe counting 4 as you inhale, and then counting 4 as you exhale. That count of 4 can help you start to slow the breath down a little bit more. We're gonna slowly start to walk the hands back towards the top of the mat if they weren't there already. As you make your way back into a downward facing dog, so tucking the toes, straightening the legs, send the hips up and back. Take your gaze to the top of the mat, and we're gonna walk the feet towards our hands back to a forward fold. Take a little halfway lift for space, lengthening through the back of the body. As you exhale, fold a little deeper. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up. Come to stand, reach the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, hands come to the sides of the body for Tadasana. We're gonna start to make our way into our balancing pose. Well, we've already done a couple balancing, but we're gonna do a standing balance. Let's find a tree this evening. So you're gonna really ground down through the left foot. That might mean stepping off your yoga mat. Sometimes you can get a better grip on the floor. And then the right toes are gonna come to the left inner ankle. Hands come to heart center. So balancing here is enough. If you're balancing and this feels good, you're gonna stay here. If you wanna add on, the right foot can start to come up the leg a little bit. So maybe you bring the right foot to the inner shin or the inner thigh. Just be mindful of your knee. You can also play around with your hands. If you like to open up your hands, if you like to reach them up over your head. See what feels good for you. We're gonna hold 5 breaths here. So give it a try. If that means touching the foot down 5 times, that's okay. Play around with it. Also coming to a wall. You have the wall space at home, most likely. So if you need to kind of have a hand on the wall or even just have your shoulder near the wall to know that it's there if you need it, sometimes that can be really helpful. Having those like, almost like a safety net to gives you the confidence to try. So once you've taken those 5 breaths, I'm gonna slowly start to bring the hands back to heart center if they weren't there. Slowly bringing that right foot back down to the mat and just shake it out a little bit. Shake out the standing leg. You can shake out your arms a little bit. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So if you're using the wall, I would bring your left shoulder towards the wall. No, we just did the right side. Bring your right shoulder towards the wall. Either way, left toes come to the right inner ankle. Hands come to heart center. And then with control, if you're lifting that leg, go ahead and bring the left foot to the inner shin, the inner thigh. You can use that hand to get it there a little bit. And then starting to settle into your variation of your tree pose. See if you can find something in the room that's not moving, something small that you can look at. Maybe it's a doorknob or a candle, something to keep your focus. For about 3 more breaths. And slowly, hands are gonna come back to heart center. That left foot can come back down to the mat. Shake out the standing leg, shake out the arms. Good. And then coming back to stand at the top of your mat if you weren't there already, we're gonna make our way into a warrior 2 by stepping the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. So your right toes are facing the top of the mat, your left foot is perpendicular to that. So you can kind of draw a line from your right heel to the center of the left foot. We're gonna extend the arms. As you inhale, lift a little bit. As you exhale, bend into that right knee. So finding your warrior 2 here by taking the gaze to the front right hand, bending into that knee a little bit more. Being mindful that your knee isn't going over your ankle. We want a 90-degree angle on the knee, but we don't want the knee over the ankle. Strong through that left arm. We're gonna find a peaceful warrior. Flip the right palm, reach the right fingertips forward, and then start to lift that right hand over the head. The left hand is gonna come to the back leg. You're reaching the right fingertips towards the back room, continuing to bend into the right knee. So you still have that bend in the right knee as you reach the right arm behind you. We're gonna find a little flow here. So as you inhale, we're gonna make our way into a triangle pose by straightening the right knee. Right hand is gonna come to the right shin, left hand comes up. So that was the inhale. We're gonna move here a couple more times. Actually, that was the exhale, sorry. Inhale comes back to that peaceful warrior. So rebending the knee, reaching the right arm over as you inhale. As you exhale, find that triangle. Right hand comes down, left arm lifts up. Go ahead and move through a couple of these with your breath. Inhale, bending the knee, reaching the arm up. It should feel almost like a dance. The idea is that you're moving with the breath, so your breath is going to dictate how fast or slow you go. One more time. And then we'll all meet in that triangle pose. So the right leg is straight, the right hand is down, the left arm lifts up. And then slowly starting to lift the upper body back up. The right toes are going to turn to face the same direction as the left. So you're sideways on your mat now. As you inhale, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, start to fold it forward. Prasarita, or wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead and take any movement that feels good here. I always like to leave this up to you because you know what feels good. So you can rock side to side a little bit. You can bend one knee at a time. Maybe walking your hands to one leg, over to the other leg. Just take about 3 or 4 breaths. Maybe that's a lot of movement, or maybe you find a spot that feels really good and you stay still there. On the next breath, we're all going to start to walk our hands over to the right foot, coming back to a low lunge at the top of the mat. So the right toes are going to turn to face the top of the mat. You're going to come onto the ball of the left foot. The left hand is going to stay down on the mat right next to the foot. As you inhale, the right arm is going to peel up towards the sky. So take your gaze up towards that right hand. You're going to roll the right shoulder back a little bit, lift the heart, lift the chest. And then slowly bringing that right hand back to meet the mat or back down to the floor. Good. And then go ahead and step that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. And then we'll find a forward fold again, walking the feet towards the hands. Take a halfway lift for space. Exhale as you fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the sides of the body, Tadasana. Let's take that over to the other side. So now the left foot is going to stay at the top of your mat. Your right foot is stepping all the way back for that warrior two. So the hips are facing the side wall again. Take a breath in, lifting the arms. As you exhale, bend into that left knee. So relaxing the shoulders here. We're strong, but we're relaxed. It's like a really nice balance. Your arms are parallel to the ground. Take your gaze over that front middle finger. See if you can sink down a little deeper into that knee. A nice bend. And then we'll start to find that flow as you inhale. Flip the left palm, reach the arm up overhead for that peaceful warrior, bending into the left knee as you reach the arm back. As you exhale, straighten the left leg, find that triangle. Left arm comes in, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, and we'll go ahead and move here with your breath. Inhale back to that peaceful triangle. Exhale, find your triangle. The other one was peaceful warrior, actually. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Lengthening through the left side of the body. Exhale, straighten the leg. Roll that right shoulder open. We'll do that one more time with your breath. And then meeting back in triangle pose. So straighten the left leg, right arm comes down, right arm comes up. Take your gaze towards that right hand. And then on the next breath, we'll all lift it back up. Turn the left toes to face the same direction as the right. One more time, Prasarita, wide-legged fold. So start to take it down. Maybe taking a different variation this time. You can walk your hands really far away from the body, like a down dog with wide legs. You can walk the hands behind the body, sort of drawing the top of the head down towards the mat. You can even take that little like interlace of the elbows like we did at the beginning of class, holding on to opposite elbows and just sort of letting the upper body hang like a rag doll. That's an option as well. And then let's all start to walk our hands towards the left foot. So coming back to the top of your mat, spinning the left toes forward, coming into the ball of the right foot. The right hand stays down. As you exhale, the left arm is going to peel up. Take your gaze towards that left hand. Roll that left shoulder open as you look up towards the ceiling. And then go ahead and bring the left hand back down to the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left, finding your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, let's lift that right leg up, point the toes towards the back of the room one more time. We're gonna find our pigeon pose now. So the right knee is gonna start to draw behind that right wrist. The left foot untucks as you press the top of the left foot into the mat. You can slide that right foot closer to the body too, if that feels a little more comfortable, taking some of the pressure off the knee. So kind of rocking side to side a little bit as you start to settle in here. Take a breath in, creating space in the front of the body. And then as you exhale, you'll start to fold forward. Finding something to rest your head on. That could be a block or a pillow or a hand. As you start to surrender and let go through the shoulders, the neck, the back. Checking in to see how much weight is pressing into that right hip. If you feel like you're leaning to the right side a lot, see if you can kind of shift so that a little more weight is coming to the left side. We're going to take about 5 breaths here. Slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the body as you press the upper body up. We'll tuck the left toes, start to step that right foot back to meet the left, finding your downward facing dog. The left foot is gonna lift up, point the toes towards the back of the room, and then draw the left knee right behind that left wrist as you settle in, finding your pigeon on the other side, pressing the top of the right foot into the mat, kind of rock the hips from side to side. Sometimes I even like to sort of make a little movement here, lifting up and down with your breath. So just kind of see what feels good, what helps you settle in. The idea is that you're pressing those hips down. And then when you're ready, the upper body can start to lower, flexing through that left foot as you find something to rest the head on. And again, just letting go here, noticing how you're feeling here. Sometimes it's not always the most popular pose, but it's one that we really need. One vertebrae at a time, starting to lift the upper body up as you walk the hands back towards you. Tuck those right toes, step the left foot back to meet the right for one final downward facing dog. And then we're all gonna come to a seated position. So go ahead and lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Flex through the toes. You can kind of rock from side to side as you settle yourself in here. And then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, fold it forward. Finding Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. Your hands can come to your shins, to your toes, to the backs of your legs. Just letting the upper body start to fold over the lower half. And the next inhale, gently lifting the upper body up, and we'll start to lower ourselves all the way back down onto our mats. So one vertebrae at a time, start to peel the spine back down. If you go really nice and slow, you'll get a nice core exercise out of it. Once you come all the way down, find a full body stretch by reaching the arms up behind you. Take a deep breath in. Let it go through your mouth, making it audible. Really big breath. Good. And then go ahead and bring the hands to the sides of the body. We're going to bend the knees, bring the feet to the base of the spine. Hands are pressing down into the mat as we start to come into our bridge pose. So on the next breath, the hips start to peel up, the spine peels up, pressing the hips towards the ceiling. You can kind of roll the shoulders under a little bit if that feels good. Interlace your hands under your tailbone, or just keep pressing the hands into the mat. So see which feels better for you. Either option is available to you. Wherever you are, work on pressing the thighs together, pressing the knees together, tucking the chin into the chest, and then breathing into the space that you've created in the front of the body. So you're opening up the heart, the lungs, the chest. Take a nice deep breath, filling that space. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we'll start to peel the spine back down onto the mat. Once your tailbone touches, let the knees rock from side to side. That should feel really nice on the spine, kind of letting that twist go, or letting that back bend go. And then starting to draw the knees in towards the body. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a little hug like we did right in the beginning. You can lift your head up off your mat, drawing your forehead towards your knees. And then slowly peeling your head back down onto the mat. We're going to come into our inversion. So if you have wall space and you want to use it, you can slide over to the wall, extend your legs up the wall, kind of like a L shape. If you want a little more active or you don't have a wall, you can do what I'm doing without the wall, right here, kicking the feet up towards the ceiling. Hands or a pillow or a blanket can come under your hips to kind of take some of that pressure off. If you would like to come into a shoulder stand from here, you can try that as well. So for the shoulder stand, the hips lift up. You start to walk the hands down the back, and you're kind of supporting the back of the body as you lift the feet up. The feet can point towards the back of the room. Eventually they can point up. So those are all just options for you. You're going to see what feels best. Legs up the wall is the most restorative. Next would be legs lifted without the wall. And then the most active is the shoulder stand. So see what you need tonight. We're going to take about 5 more breaths here. See if you can tap into those 4 count breaths again. 4 inhale, 4, count to 4 on the inhale, count to 4 on the exhale. Wherever you are, we're all going to start to make our way back out of this pose. So slowly bringing the feet back to the mat. You're going to bring the arms to the sides of the body. Press up on the forearms. So bending the shoulders a little, or the elbows, sorry. Lift the upper body up for a fish pose. So you're kind of puffing up the chest, puffing up the heart. Let the head release back if that feels comfortable, or just keep looking forward. But either way, really opening up through that front part of the body, through the shoulders. And then gently lowering yourself all the way back down onto the mat, drawing the knees back in towards you, bringing your arms to a T, And then let the knees release over to the right side. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, turn the head to the left so that you're looking away from the knees. You can bring your right hand to the top of the leg and kind of massage that left thigh a little bit if that feels good. Relax through the shoulders, so really softening and letting go here. Not holding on to anything, not tensing anything. Just letting the body settle. For about 2 more breaths. And gently starting to draw the knees back through center, taking it over to the other side. So the knees are coming to the left, the head is turning to the right. Same thing as you did on the other side, letting the knees land wherever it feels comfortable for you. Letting the shoulders start to melt into the mat a little bit. And then slowly drawing the knees back through center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together on the mat. Let the knees release out to either side. Your hands can come onto your stomach or the inner thighs. Just kind of surrendering here, letting go as the back of the body sort of melts into the mat a little bit. Allowing the breath to start to return to its normal rhythm. That breath flows freely through the body. And then we're going to gently start to extend the legs long, one at a time, lengthening the legs on your mat as you start to settle into your shavasana. So finding a space that feels comfortable for you. If that means grabbing a sweatshirt or a blanket, whatever you need so that you can feel comfortable in your shavasana, maybe putting some socks on. Starting to take up as much space as you need on the mat, maybe extending your arms out to the sides, maybe making your legs really wide. Just becoming heavy, completely letting go, completely surrendering into this shape. Letting the eyes close if they were not closed already. Bringing your awareness to your feet. We're going to do a little gradual relaxation. So starting to squeeze the feet, creating a lot of tension, a lot of tightness in the bottoms of the feet, almost like you're making fists with your feet. And then as you exhale, you're going to relax through the bottoms of the feet, letting the heels softly melt into the mat. Bring your awareness to your legs. Start to squeeze your thighs, your shins, your glutes. So the whole lower half of your body is getting really tight and tense. Hold on to that tension a little longer. And then again, as you exhale, relax, let it all go. Feel that tension releasing. So everything you created along with a little bit more starts to release. And bringing your awareness to your hands, start to make fists with your hands. And bringing your arms into it. Make muscles with your biceps, your triceps. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Again, tightness and tension in the neck and shoulders. Hold on to it a little longer. And then exhale, let it go. The shoulders release away from the ears. The hands gently open. Maybe your palms are facing up or facing down to ground you. Bring your awareness to your stomach. Start to squeeze the stomach really tightly, getting ready to do a sit-up. Create a lot of tension, a lot of tightness there. And then slowly letting it go. Begin to feel that breath flow freely. Feel that expansion of the stomach on the inhale and then contraction as you exhale. And lastly, bring your awareness to your face. Squeeze your face really tightly shut. Make a funny face with your eyes, with your mouth. Wrinkle your forehead. Maybe even lifting the head up off the mat a little bit. Holding it. And then letting it go as you exhale. Allow the head to sink back into the mat. Allow the jaw to soften. The forehead relaxes as you allow the whole body to just settle here into Shavasana, supported by your mat, by the earth beneath you. And just stay in this moment for a little while longer. Slowly starting to bring your awareness back to the body. Gently beginning with the fingers, the toes, and then the wrists and the ankles, starting to gently move the body a little bit. Stretching in a way that feels good for you, maybe a full body stretch. Maybe drawing the knees in towards you. And if it feels comfortable, you can come over onto your right side with the knees bent, resting the head on the arm in a fetal position. Or staying right where you are if that feels better. Wherever you are, take these last few moments here on your mat to acknowledge that peace that you created that's all around your mat right now. Let that feeling start to settle right there in the center of your heart. So then when you step off your mat in a few moments and go back out into your house, you can hold on to that peaceful feeling, take it with you through the rest of tonight. When you're ready, you'll gently start to make your way back up to a seated position, pressing yourself up, bringing your hands to heart center as you keep your eyes closed. I am so grateful for all of you for joining us virtually tonight, for bringing your light and your energy with you and sharing it with us. I hope you all have the most beautiful evening and a great week ahead until I see you again. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, guys.
No.
Thank you, Jess. That was great. Great
Oh,
time.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Marianne.